So if you have only 6 hours a week to manage your brand, what exactly can be done in order to make your brand successful? Let's drop down those 3 hours that you can dedicate to your fashion business and see how we can use them efficiently in order to help you stand out from the crowd, find your clients, and make money from your business. Basically, 6 hours per week is 360 minutes per week. If you have 5 working days, it basically brings you to 72 minutes per day, right? Which is 1 hour and 12 minutes. So you have 1 hour, 12 minutes per day to run your business. Maybe you have some other duties. Maybe you're a freelancer, you have clients, or you have 9-to-5 job. And this is the time you can dedicate when you come home and you can deal with your business. If you watch my free training, and if you didn't, I put the link to the training in the Dropbox below, you will learn that in order for a brand, for a fashion brand to be successful, we need to go through 5 main steps in our brand development. If you just start with one of them randomly, your business will not work. Step number 1, you will find your ideal client profile. Step number 2, you will identify your niche, where your brand wants to position itself. Step number 3, you will need to build a brand image. Step number 4, which is a crucial step, sales machine. You need to have some sales machine in place, and then you need to have a traffic machine. So you have 5 steps to cover in order to make a successful fashion business. And here we put time. So time is the main factor that can bring you success, whether you dedicate the whole life to your business or just part of your work time. It depends on you. But the more you give your time, the quicker you get to the final stage, which is success, right? So if you have a time frame, let's say you want to have a successful business with 10x in revenue by the end of 12 months. For instance, you have 20K now, you want to go to 250K or 200K. You need to cover all those steps and use your time in order to get those results most efficiently. Step number 1, ideal client. Ideal client is the main step to start with. You cannot do your business if you don't know who is your client and whom do you want to sell. We don't do fashion businesses for everyone. We do fashion businesses for people who care, for people who want to belong to a particular kind of community. So in today's economic environment, you cannot just do clothes and hope that someone would buy. You need to stop thinking like this. So the ideal client would be your main first step to start with. The only one reason that you don't sell is because you don't have your ideal client clearly defined. In this step 1, we will need at least 2 hours per client. We need to confirm, we will need to send some emails. So it will take you maybe 1 or 2 hours to do that. So let's say there is some follow-up as well, which will take you 1 more hour, some follow-ups, some thinking, understanding what you've been talking about, putting all this into a kind of profile that you need to write down, to summarize. So it's about 3 hours in total per client interview, right? In 1 month, I have basically 24 hours to do my brand stuff. So if I already consume 3 hours per client, I need to conduct at least 5 interviews with qualified people to be sure that my ideal client is clearly defined. It will take me 15 hours. So out of 24 hours I have for this month, I will take off 15 hours to conduct client interviews, and I have 9 hours left to do the rest. So let's say for the first month, I already have this task to be done, which will take me at least 15 hours. And then I need to, in step 2, define my niche. Niche is something that you need to use as a reference to position your brand in the mind of your clients. Once we have identified our ideal client, we need to understand what are the communities that I want my brand to talk to. You need to see like one unit that represents a huger community. So in order to position our brand, we need to bring this one unit to as many other similar people as we can imagine. And basically we will find a niche and we name this niche. And this is how we know that our brand is dedicated to a particular type of people And we want this type of communication will be very clear for every single person who are in touch with our website, in touch with our communication, that they identify themselves with what we are talking about and with our style and brand view. In order to identify your niche, you will need to understand who are your competitors. It's like the first stage of your understanding. You need to find at least 3 of them that are in the niche. And the second thing that you need to understand is where my ideal client belongs to. 2 questions: where your competitors and how your customer identifies themselves and where they belong to. Communities, groups, interests, style preferences, lifestyle preferences, all those type of things can define your niche, your future niche. So in order to identify this part, let me give you some clue in terms of time that you need to put in place to this part. And everyone can do it. This is very important. If you know how to do it, everyone can do it. It's not for marketers. It's not for consultants or experts. It's for you. As a business owner, you can do it. So let's say in order to identify where your client belongs to, you need to write down some hypotheses, like hypothesis number 1. Hypothesis number 2, right? Let's say my client belongs to artists from a particular district where there are galleries and they're living there, they have particular restaurants where they go to, etc. So you can define them as artist lovers, right? It's not written in marketing books. It's you who define your niche according to what you have understood from your clients' interviews or any other hypothesis, right? So you can have few hypotheses and then you need to check them. Go make your research, go on different social platforms, identify groups, identify accounts, identify their language, etc. And then you will see it much more clear if you spend some time understanding what are the groups. So if you have those hypotheses confirmed and if you have 3 competitors that are already positioned in those niches, this is how you will understand how to position your brand. So for this research, you need, let's say, 2 hours per day, right? 2 hours per day to conduct this research, which basically if you do it during 2 weeks, we will be gentle with our time. We will not push too much. You have 4 hours to conduct this research. Understand your competitors, dig deeper into your potential niches, and reflect on this. Let's put additional 2 hours on the top. So now you have 6 hours of market research and finding your niche. So from 15 hours that we have left before from client understanding, we take away already 6 hours of niche understanding, and it brings us to 9 hours left. So we have 9 hours left. And if we go back to our graphic, in 1 month, you can accomplish client interviews and ideal client validation, niche research, understand where do you want to position your brand, whom are you talking to, and you have some time left for brand image. So brand image is a very crucial topic for fashion brands. If you don't have a clear brand image, let's say no one will be interested by your brand. Brand image is something that will require some time and internal work. So for brand image, we need at least create mood boards, right? Mood boards will help us to identify how do we want to position our brand in terms of image? How do we communicate our values, our creative vision through images? So in our program, we work with Pinterest. So we do mood boards in Pinterest because it's the easiest way to just find images that talks to our heart and brings them into one mood board that helps us to see more clearly how do we want to position our brand. So in order to do this work, you need to do some research as well, because you need to find references, people who did something that touches your heart, something that you really like you see it, you see an image and it creates a lot of emotions inside you. First of all, you need to find those images that create those emotions. And secondly, you need to find references who did that. This will be part of your internal world, part of understanding of how do you feel about some work of some artist. For instance, you see an image that creates a lot of emotions in you and you feel it's a good way to approach your brand image as well. So you need to understand who were the photographer behind this image, an artist who did this painting. And then you go into the work of those people and you see what other paintings or photos did they produce. So you can use this as a reference for your next image research, for your next mood board. And maybe some of the photographers and artists that you really like can be the most inspiring basis to create your brand image, because this is how you feel inspired. This is how you can create collections. This is how you feel your brand should express the creativity, right? Through those kind of images. So you can have your own list of references of creative people, photographers. It can be filmmakers, producers, actors who are really inspiring for you. And so you use them as a reference in your brand image. For instance, let's say you create a brand around 18s. So you need to find all the references that inspire you from that period of time. It can be fashion designers, it can be films, actors, photographers, artists, singers, any public person that you've been inspired with and that inspires you in terms of style and vision, in terms of fashion as well, in terms of colors. It can be about colors, styles. It can be about what kind of backgrounds do you prefer when you will do the shooting for your brand, etc. So you need to understand who is behind people behind images that produces effect on you, right? Or who are those people who are the most impactful if we talk about period of time that you are inspired by and that you want to convey in your brand image. So people behind, and then once you do your research, you need to pull images from this research and you need to create mood boards with those images. So those mood boards, we have several of them. We have mood boards, which is brand DNA, basically. Then we can have mood boards for competitors, for clients, for your future collection, for your future shooting. It depends on the goal of producing the mood board. And then on the other side, so you have this external world that inspires you. And on the other side, you have your internal world. Internal world is the most powerful tool that you need to use when we talk about brand image building process. Internal world is about who you are. It's about what do I like. It's about expressing your feeling, right? How do I feel? It is you basically, because you will give the breath to your brand. So you have all those external inspirations, but you have your internal motivations, internal inspirations that you need to understand. It goes through you and then it goes outside. And the mood board is a tool to consolidate this vision and this knowledge. So let's say for this exercise, we need at least 2 hours a day, because it's a lot of reflection, a lot of research, a lot of booking, internet research, books, whatever library, personal library you have, whatever, I don't know, your family was inspired by. So you need to go to those different images, references, and just consolidate them in one place. And let's say if you do it 2 hours per day, maybe you will do it once a while, like maybe you will do only 2 days. I would not give it like the whole month to think about it. I would rather put in more like compact way. It will be 2 days of thinking and researching and putting everything in mood boards, and then you can come back to it and rethink it every 2 hours every month, etc. No, it's a living organism. So which means basically you do this research during 2 days, you put everything in mood boards, and then what happens in 1 week or two, you had other type of flash memory comes up to you, and or you've seen an image that creates some emotion in you and you want to integrate it into your mood board. So you do the work once again, and this is how you come back to your mood board. Maybe it's 1 hour or 2 hours a day to improve it. So I would start with 2 full days for this exercise, and it will give me like 4 hours per day multiplied by 2. So I'm already at 6 hours of work just to create this brand image stuff. So if I go back to my timetable where I want to move through all those stages and I'm depending on my time and I have 10x growth as a goal, I need 2 months to build my ideal client understanding, identify my niche, and build my brand image. So again, in this hypothesis, I don't take into consideration that your time will go to collection creation, because if you need to create a collection and then build it yourself, it will take more than that. But basically, if you finished all this concept-based part, which is the strategic part of the brand, client, niche, image, you in 2 months with 6 hours of a week, I mean, you are good, because this is where you build your strategy, your positioning, understanding of your client, of your market. It is the main thing that you need to build before you go into sales and traffic. So if you start with traffic and you didn't do all those parts, you are very far behind the results that you expect, because this part will not work if other parts are not created, consolidated, and built. So let's go to the strategic elements. So client, niche, image, and we already managed to build it in 1 month and a half. This is basically in this scenario where we have only 1 hour, 12 minutes per day. 1 hour, 12 minutes per day. We need 1 month and a half to build a client, niche, and image. So now, how we'll use this information, how it will help you to move forward. Let's say this all is essential to build a strategy of the fashion brand. In our program, we build what we call a PAP document, which is basically stands for philosophy, authenticity, and product. This is an essential document that I require all my students to fill in, because this is where you build the concept of your brand. This is where you identify what we call the imaginative world of your brand. And this is basically equal universe of your brand, or a DNA of your brand. So if you don't have DNA, you need to create this PAP document, fill in it. You don't create it, you fill in it, and you just understand what is your brand is about and how you create this DNA that you want to later introduce to the market. So the brand universe, or the DNA, is defined in this philosophy, authenticity, product document, which we call PAP, and it is completely something that we use in the program. It is it's a part of our methodology. It's not public yet. It's something that we use in our program, and it is something I came up after years of practice, and when I understood that we need to have a kind of document where we consolidate the brand knowledge and brand DNA, and it comes from the founder himself or herself, because this is how you can basically transmit to what you know about yourself and your ambitions about your brand into a strategic document that we call PAP. So you create your brand universe DNA inside this document with understanding of your client, understanding of your niche, and brand image, right? And this is a document where you will define your brand mission, your brand mission statement, your purpose, right? Because mission is a purpose, why we do what we do and what we do for whom. And this is where you build the story of your brand. Because if this document is done well, you just take the text out of it and you put it on your website, and that's it. This is how your story of your brand is told to the external world. So this is so important to create this document where you just use it each time you need to come back to it, each time you need to tell the story, each time you need to remember why you do what you do. You need to revise your mission, your purpose, why you do it. You go back to PAP document and you review it. Each time you have this moment when you doubt, you need to go back to PAP document and you think about it, you read it again, you improve it, you go back to your activity. So this is like what we do. This is about our first 2 months if you have only 6 hours per week. And then you will tell me, wait, Inga, where's money? I need money. I need 10x growth. I need my success. But listen, you told me you have only 6 hours per week. So I'm trying to be reasonable here. I'm trying to tell you, if you have only 6 hours per week and you don't make money yet and you have a brand, what should you do? Start with this. Start with client, niche, image. Then, if it's done right, you will need to install your sales machine and you need to have your traffic machine. You can do it basically very quickly if you have the right methodology and the right approach. And you can do it once you've defined the strategic part in 2 months. You can do it very quickly in the next month, 3 months, get your sales machine done, 4 months, get your traffic. You have 8 months left to make your sales and 10x growth, right? This is in the scenario of 6 hours per week. Then if you tell me, no, I want my revenue quicker. I'm ready to go all in. I stop my side job. I stop my 9 to 5 job. And just, I want to focus myself on my business for the next 2 months. I don't do anything else. I just do this, which basically means you put more hours into your business and you are no more at 6 hours per week. You are maybe 24 or 36 hours per week to produce a result. Now, imagine what you can do if you have 24 hours per week to produce a result. And if you have the methodology, if you know how to go through all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to get to the success and 10x. Imagine what you can do. In just 1 month and a half, you can already produce the result. Because we split it hours, we know exactly what we should do, 15 hours, 9 hours, 16 hours. And then for the sales machine, really, it depends on your skills with the computer, understanding of Shopify stores, etc. And if you just follow the process, you can build maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe in 1 month. It depends on your skills as well. And the traffic machine is ongoing operations. How do I create my marketing operations mostly efficiently to get the qualified traffic to my website? So in 1 month and a half, you can achieve already growth, right? If you put more hours into this process. You just dedicate more hours, you stay focused, and you do only this. Don't go to pop-up stores, don't go to exhibitions, don't do to fairs, nothing else unless you finish these 5 steps and you know that you can produce results from all these 5 steps. And now you just use the compound effect where with time, everything you put in place just will bring more and more results each time, right? So your 10x growth, it's all about how much time do I put into my business and what are the exact steps I need to follow. And this is how I get my 10x growth. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And if you really want to know how to get into those all 5 steps, more into details, I have a free training for you. You just click on the link below under the video and watch my free training where I give you the examples of brands who went through all those 5 stages and what type of results they obtained and in what time, if it's a problem for you, the time. But all those brands that follow and implement the strategies, they got the success, right? So watch this free training. It's listed in the link below in the comments box, and just comment, give me some ideas. Like if something is not clear for you, you don't understand how to find ideal client, niche, image, sales, traffic, give me your feedback. Say client, I don't understand client, niche, I don't understand niche, image, I don't understand image, sales, I don't understand how to drive sales, traffic. But the main message here, and you need to understand that traffic is not the only thing that drives sales. What drives sales is the whole story that you tell, the whole understanding of your clients, the niche that you want to target, the image that you want to build, and the sales machine that is behind your brand, all the systems that you put in place to help you achieve the traffic that converts to client, right? So you need to know all those steps. You need to know how to implement them in order to get the success you want for your brand. But anyway, I'm here to help you, and please feel free to comment and ask whatever questions you think are necessary to help you move through all those stages. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and just click on the notifying button so you can be notified each time there's a new video like this coming out from me. Thanks. Bye.